Now, Washington Mornings on the Mall.
105.9 FM.
And AM 630.
WMAL.
7:37 on WMAL, where Washington comes to talk. Always one of my favorite guests. Stuart Varney from the Fox Business Network is on the line right now. Stuart, how are you?
Hey, Brian, I'm in very good shape, surprisingly enough. How about you?
Well, that's good to hear. So you're good news, Stu, today.
I'm doing my best, Brian.
All right, I want to start. There's a lot of things to talk about. Two things right off the bat. Gas prices are going up. Average price of a gallon of gas right now nationwide, $3.70, up 30 cents from July. According to some USA Today report that I read, said that they expect the gas prices could reach a nationwide average of $3.90 per gallon before it starts to go down. You and I know that that's the one thing that can resonate and ripple through an economy very quickly.
Yes, that's very true. So far, though, it has not. I think this latest gas price spike has kind of crept up on us, and it's not received much national attention. But it's still with us. It's still going up. The national average as of today is $3.71 for regular.
Okay.
And just as importantly, you're almost $4 a gallon for diesel. Attention truckers and farmers. And some big population centers, Illinois, California, are already paying well over $4 for regular gasoline. So, yeah, we're going to feel it. We're feeling it already. I think it gets worse as this summer goes on.
All right. And the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about was GM stock prices, which are at $20.14 a share as of close yesterday of the stock market. Why is that important? Well, because the taxpayers own 26% of General Motors. And I saw a story on Forbes this morning that suggested that that leaves the government, or you and me, holding some $10.1 billion in GM stock, sitting on an unrealized loss of $16.4 billion.
Those numbers are accurate. We, the taxpayer, we, the people, own 500 million shares of General Motors, currently priced at 20. If we want to get all of our money back that we put into General Motors, this is just GM, we want to get all that money back, the stock has to go to 53.
Yeah.
That looks highly unlikely. You're right, we're sitting on a loss of $16 billion.
But yet, from the president says that, that's one of the things he's campaigning on. We save GM.
Well, he says GM has come roaring back. Precise words. I mean, where you get that from, I simply don't know. GM is no longer the world's number one automaker. That's been passed over back to Toyota. GM is not making that much money in profit. Its standard bearer for the new green era is the Volt, and they've only sold 10,700 of them so far this year, which is way under what they wanted, and that stock price just won't budge much above 20. GM, frankly, is a mess, and the president should not be saying that they come roaring back.
Forbes' larger point in their article was that we could be headed to another crash for GM because their market share is dropping. They only have 18% of the market share right now.
They just don't have decent models to put on the market at this point. I hate to be down on GM because, they're a great American company, and, hey, we got a stake in them. But it's hard to be positive about a company that's losing market share, profitability, no decent models, the Volt's a failure, etc., etc.
All right, let me ask you a broader question, though, because stocks overall, I mean, the Dow's at 13,000 plus. It's up. I mean, what is amazing, Stuart, is it's up 5,000 points since the president was inaugurated. Yet the economy is struggling. The two don't match up. They don't mesh. I'm just curious as to where you think, because there are a lot of headwinds in front of us, a lot of obstacles ahead of us. We still got this tax thing to work through, the fiscal cliff that we're on with taxes. And do you think that the stocks represent the real world, or is it the economy the real world and the stocks are kind of artificial?
At the moment, I think the stock market represents the unreal world of money printing by America's Federal Reserve. The market desperately wants Ben Bernanke to crank up the printing presses, fire up the presses, create a whole bunch of new money, and that will find its way into the stock market. They're also hoping that the Europeans do exactly the same, and I think they will print trillions of euros. That's got nothing to do with the underlying economy. That money, some of it, will find its way to stocks. That's why the Dow is at 13,200. But I would suggest this. if we get, and this is not wishful thinking on my part, I think I'm close to reality here. If we get a Republican sweep in November, the White House, the Senate, and the House stays Republican, I think that will signal a real change of course in economic and fiscal policy, and I think you'll see a stock market rally, a big one. That's just an opinion.
Right. All right. On a political note, the Republicans picked Paul Ryan to be, or Mitt Romney picked Paul Ryan to be his running mate, and obviously they're going to run on a tough budget and maybe some changes to Medicare. I know you're far from, being eligible for Medicare personally, but when the Ryan camp and the Romney camp say that the president took $716 billion, took it out of Medicare to pay for Obamacare, are they right when they say that?
It is declared administration policy to take money out of Medicare to pay for Obamacare, specifically to put more people, millions more people, onto Medicaid. That is the declared policy. That was part of the legislation that created Obamacare in the first place. I think what we need in this debate more than anything else is some clarity. We're getting lost in the weeds. Mm-hmm. These numbers are being chucked around, who's cutting what from where and when. I mean, that's all clouding the picture. What we must have in America is reform of the entitlement system. If we don't do that, we simply run out of money, we are bankrupt. Medicare runs out of money in 2024. You can't tinker with it. It's no good taxing a bit more here and chopping there. That doesn't work. No, you must reform the way the system works. The only guy with a reform plan is Paul Ryan. Now it's the Romney-Ryan plan. The administration has no such plan of reform, no such structural change. It's a clear-cut choice. Might be painful,
right,
but that's reality.
So when the Obama administration or the Obama campaign says that Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney want to fundamentally change and end Medicare as we know it, Republicans should say, yes, we do.
No. It's not ending Medicare as we know it, because under the Ryan proposal, Medicare stays as is if you're 55 or older,
yes, and
will remain an option if you wish to choose it for those people who are now under 55. Medicare does not go away. It is replaced. No, it's not replaced. A new option comes in where the government gives you money and you spend that money on health care wheresoever you please, buying from competing private health insurers. And if you spend less than the money allotment, you put that money in your pocket.
Right, they give you money. They basically give you $15,000 the way it is right now, and if you need more, then you have to buy more on your own, or if you don't use the $15,000, then you get cash in return.
Yes. None of these panels that decide who's going to get treated in what way. No, let the market decide these things. Give people their money, let them choose. Look, obviously I'm wildly in favor of reform, but I'm in favor of reform because you have to be. We must reform. I don't want to see America go bankrupt. We're not Spain. We're not Greece. Come on.
All right, Stuart, it's great to have you on as always. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Stuart.
See you guys.
Stuart Varney from the Fox Business Channel, 745 on 105.9 FM and AM 630 W.